We're leaving right now. But we're moving. Very good. Yeah, wait.
Right now, Erykah Badu is trending after throwing a little shade to Beyonce on IG. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen her do this.
Random celebrity side-eye. Because when Beyonce and Erykah Badu end up in the same conversation, the internet does not treat it like simple fashion drama. It turns into influence, ownership, spiritual energy, old tension, fan wars, and people asking one question. Why does Erykah keep reacting every time Beyonce steps into a look that feels familiar to her world? And the wild part is, this was not even the first time.
Right now, Erykah Badu is trending after throwing a little shade to Beyonce on IG. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen her do this, and now the Beehive is coming for her neck. It all started when Beyonce posted this picture promoting her new album. Now, we had to crop the picture for early morning TV reasons, okay? But B is rocking long braids with a bang and beads. This is a similar style to what we've seen Erykah wear often, and she let it be known by reposting the picture with the caption, on her IG story. Needless to say, fans went in on her, and she later tweeted this message saying to Jay-Z, "Say something, Jay. You gonna let this woman and these bees do this to me?" Bees for bee, beehive, okay? Not B word, that other B word. While Jay-Z did not respond, Beyonce's longtime friend and publicist did. The real Beehive know Beyonce's been doing this back in her Destiny's Child days. She dropped a compilation reel of throwback pics, each one with a different look of B with her braids. In the caption, she put hashtag critics without critics.
So, after that clip, you can see why people immediately started picking sides. On one side, Erykah Badu has been known for decades as a style architect. The head wraps, the beads, the oversized hats, the earthy spiritual image, all of it became part of her identity. But on the other side, Beyonce's camp basically pushed back without even needing Beyonce to say a word. Her longtime publicist posted a whole montage showing Beyonce in braids across different eras, basically reminding people that this was not some brand new image Beyonce suddenly borrowed from somebody else. And that is where the argument got messy. Because fans were not just arguing about hair anymore. They were arguing about who gets credit for an aesthetic. But then the conversation took a darker turn because the internet started connecting this fashion tension to years of stranger claims around Beyonce's image, her performances, and the spiritual symbolism people believe she uses.
To the systems of the world, you have bowed. Any of you who are going to Beyonce's concert, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't care what pastor you got that is okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that think it's cool. I don't care what pastor you got that's singing along to their song. Why you think that man called himself Jehovah? It was short for Jehovah.
And this is where the story starts getting uncomfortable, because the Erykah Badu situation did not happen in a vacuum. This was already sitting on top of years of online rumors, church commentary, fan theories, and old allegations that people keep dragging back up every time Beyonce drops a new era. To be clear, none of these spiritual accusations have been proven as facts. But in celebrity culture, sometimes an allegation does not need to be proven to become part of the conversation. All it needs is one viral clip, one strange post, one court document, and one fan base ready to connect dots that may or may not belong together. That is exactly what happened with Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce's former drummer. Back in 2018, Kimberly filed for a civil harassment restraining order and made extremely unusual claims in that filing. Major music outlets reported that the filing included accusations about extreme witchcraft, phone interference, financial control, and other bizarre claims. But here is the important part. The restraining order request did not turn into a confirmed legal finding against Beyonce. Pitchfork later reported that the request was dismissed after Kimberly did not appear at the scheduled hearing, and court records cited lack of prosecution. But even though the court case did not prove the claims, the internet never really let the story die. Because once people saw the words Beyonce, former drummer, restraining order, and witchcraft in the same headline, it became one of those celebrity conspiracy stories that keeps coming back every few years. And then when Erykah Badu started publicly shading Beyonce over style again, people treated it like more than fashion. They started saying, "Wait, why is Erykah always the one calling this out?" Some fans saw it as jealousy. Some saw it as artistic ownership. But the conspiracy side of the internet saw it as something darker, like Erykah was hinting at a bigger spiritual battle behind the scenes. And that is why this next clip matters. Because Kimberly was not just a random blogger talking from the outside. She had actually worked in Beyoncé's orbit. So when she spoke about feeling blocked, controlled, or damaged after that working relationship, people grabbed onto every word.
Love it, but the internet is just like, what? Excuse me? And, I was just at the Beyonce concert last week in Houston. It was definitely a religious experience.
Wait, the girl came. A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her while she was asleep. No snacking on his and people cash. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too, which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music, handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band.
I definitely did that to definitely be so clear to cut the cord that I don't want to have anything to do with this person at all. I don't want to work with them. I'm even embarrassed that I have worked with them because it's literally shattered everything that I've tried to build after doing that work in my life. If I always said when I was a kid, I never would want to regret anything, but this I regret. I regret that we ever worked together because it's turned my life completely upside down. She's not been able to let me go. She's not been able to let me progress into a mature woman and work with other people, build other great entities and statues and trophies that develop in the arts world and music. She's just been a savage, stealing my intellectual property, stealing my ideas, just basically doing anything and everything to damage any type of happiness that I could have had up to current. That be in my own independent career, establishing my own company, my own music, relationships, whether it be business partnerships, personal relationships. So I've had to do a lot of work, a lot of practice of self-love. I know that, I was that kid that grew up and always did the right things and always studied really hard and always did a lot for whoever I was working for and the company. And, that time has come and passed over and over again. And it's just been a nightmare to try to move on and do other things with other people without it getting totally destroyed. The other people I've worked with that have been on a plateau have been paid to fire me. I found this out, and then it just kept happening. So it was a pattern.
After hearing Kimberly speak like that, you can understand why the internet started spiraling. Because even if people did not believe every single claim, the emotion in that clip made the story feel personal. She was not just talking about a bad job. She was talking like someone who felt her whole career in peace had been affected after leaving a massive superstar's world. And then Solange's name started getting pulled into the conversation, which made everything even messier. Because anytime Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Solange are mentioned together, people immediately remember how private that family usually is, and how rare it is when anything strange leaks out publicly. So when online users started tying Solange's posts, Nicki Minaj's Jay-Z comments, and spiritual imagery together, the rumor machine went into overdrive. It became less about one allegation, and more about a bigger question. Why do so many people keep connecting the Carter family to hidden power, symbolism, and spiritual warning signs?
No, Beyonce is a witch. She's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch. Okay, how many people have come out and said, "Hey, shit, my cat starts dying. Beyonce did this to me. I saw Beyonce do that." Like this is nothing new. Okay, but you got to understand when it comes to Illuminati, to this industry, one person replaces the other. Madonna's over. Madonna is almost done. And Madonna is a very high ranking with. She is a high priestess. That's just pretty much what it is. Of course, the main thing Madonna practices is Kabbalah, but then there's different versions of Kabbalah, just like there's different versions of African spirituality. But then I also believe that in addition to African spirituality, I do believe that Beyonce is into dark magic and black magic as well, her and Jay-Z.
Now, the next layer came from online commentators who pushed the theory even further. One of the names that kept coming up was Storm Monroe, a tea blogger known for leaning into shocking celebrity claims. And according to the way this theory was framed online, Beyonce was not just being accused of copying fashion or using stage symbolism. Some people were trying to paint her as one of the most powerful spiritual figures in entertainment. This is where Oshun gets brought into the conversation. But this part needs to be handled carefully. Oshun is not some random internet demon. In Yoruba religion, Oshun is an Orisha associated with rivers, love, fertility, beauty, sensuality, and feminine power. Beyonce has used African and Afro-diasporic imagery in her art before, especially around projects like Lemonade and Black is King, and many cultural critics have read that imagery as a celebration of black womanhood, ancestry, and divine feminine symbolism. But gossip culture does what gossip culture does. It takes artistic symbolism, mixes it with old allegations, adds a few viral sermons, and suddenly the conversation becomes, is this just performance art, or is there something darker behind it? And that is why Storm's clip hit the way it did. Because he was not talking like this was a fashion debate. He was talking like there was a hierarchy in Hollywood, like one powerful woman replaces another, and like Beyonce's success was connected to something the public was never supposed to understand.
Of the world, you have bowed any of you who are going to Beyonce's concert. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't care what pastor you got that is okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that think it's cool. I don't care what pastor you got that's singing along to their song because they want some clout. Why you think that man called himself Jehovah? It was short for Jehovah. When a witch has a coven, it's normally a small thing. Witches' covens are normally 3 to 7 people. When it becomes thousands, it's called a hive. Y'all are part of that lady beehive? And you call yourself a Christian? May the dealings of the Lord come upon you. You think this is small stuff. You think you not going to that lady's concert is not an initiation. You think you not going to that concert is not a ritual. You think you not going to concert. It's not a gate. That entire concert is a gate. How dare you?
Once that theory hit the internet, people started digging through Beyonce's old interviews and stage eras like they were looking for evidence in a crime scene. And the first thing everybody ran back to was Sasha Fierce. Now, in normal entertainment terms, Sasha Fierce was Beyonce's alter ego, the bolder, fearless performance version of herself. Artists have done this forever. Rappers, singers, actors, comedians, they all create stage personas that let them move differently in front of the crowd. Beyonce herself has explained Sasha Fierce as a character that helped her step outside of her shy personality and perform with more confidence. But the internet did not leave it there. Because when old clips resurfaced where Beyonce described feeling like something came over her before a major performance, conspiracy pages took that language and ran with it. Instead of treating it like a performer describing adrenaline, stage presence, or artistic transformation, they framed it like possession. And once that word got attached to her name, every dramatic performance, every symbol, every golden outfit, every spiritual visual became proof to people who already wanted to believe the darkest version of the story. Then, more claims started circulating from people connected to performance spaces around Beyonce. Some posts and videos alleged that former dancers or industry-adjacent figures had accused her of harming careers, blocking opportunities, or using power behind the scenes. But again, this is where the line matters. Social media allegations are not the same as proven facts. A viral Instagram post can create massive noise, but that does not automatically make every claim true. Still, in a video like this, the reason those claims matter is because they show how big the mythology around Beyonce has become. She's not treated like a normal celebrity. She is treated like a symbol, and depending on who is talking, that symbol means excellence, control, inspiration, intimidation, power, or something spiritual. And then came the church side of the backlash. Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery went viral after calling out Christians who attended Beyoncé concerts, framing the shows as more than entertainment. That sermon exploded because it gave religious language to what conspiracy pages had already been saying for years. Suddenly, the debate was no longer just, is Beyoncé using spiritual imagery? It became, are fans participating in something without realizing it? That is why this next clip is so intense. Because whether people agreed with her or not, Tiffany said the quiet part loudly, the part some online critics had been whispering every time Beyoncé stepped on stage with goddess imagery, ritual-style staging, or a fan base that calls itself the Bayhive. So now, the situation is sitting in a very strange place. On paper, the confirmed story is simple. Erykah Badu shaded Beyoncé's look. Beyoncé's publicist responded with receipts. Kimberly Thompson's old restraining order claims resurfaced, and viral religious commentators added fuel to the fire. But online, the story became something much bigger. It became a conversation about power, image, spirituality, black celebrity culture, and how quickly the internet can turn symbolism into suspicion. And that is what makes this whole thing so wild. Beyoncé has never needed to respond directly to most of this, because her silence is part of the machine. The less she says, the more people speculate. The more people speculate, the bigger the myth becomes. And the bigger the myth becomes, the harder it is to separate real documented controversy from pure internet folklore. But Erykah Badu, stepping into the conversation again, gave people a reason to reopen every old theory. Was it just shade over fashion? Was it artistic ego? Was it fans overreacting? Or was it another sign that there is tension behind the scenes that the public only sees in small flashes? Either way, one thing is clear. Whenever Beyoncé's name, Erykah's energy, and spiritual allegations land in the same conversation, the internet is not letting it go quietly.